Hey Hotshots, Jess with Emotional Fire Academy here today to talk about next level emotional mastery. What that looks like, feels like, what the experience is like. Welcome, I'm Jess. This is a channel where we teach tactical mindfulness so you can live the epic, amazing, awesome, inwardly peaceful life you've always wanted. So, I wanted to start making some content that was related to comments that have been on the channel, and so that's what today is going to be about. It's going to be in the same kind of theme that we've been talking about the last few weeks about not letting people get to us, leveraging what people do, their reactions to us as a chance for us to grow. I'll link that video above. That's the one I made last week, or maybe a couple weeks ago. Prioritizing our inner peace. And I kind of want to zoom back a little bit and give you a bigger picture. Like, what does next level emotional mastery feel like? I think it's helpful to have an analogy. And so I want to start with this comment on the channel, and then we'll build out the analogy from there. So you can kind of understand what this looks and feels like. So the comment that I received just a few days ago from this person on the channel: I believe the thoughts are difficult to overcome when people around you are actively reinforcing the thoughts at the time of you crying. So this is in reference to crying. Calling you a crybaby, for instance. This makes the thoughts feel more true and is a terrible situation to improve your thought cycles in. All right, so here is kind of some insight into this. So I've talked about how, there's never going to be a perfect environment, perfect circumstances where we can improve our thought cycles. So the time is always now. The present moment is always now to start reinforcing our own thoughts and beliefs that we have on the inside. And this analogy that I want to give you is like sitting in a movie theater, right? What's happening to us in life, right, in our circumstances and our situation in life, is what the movie that is playing on the screen of life is playing in front of us. And we're just like when we go to a movie theater in person, we're sitting there in the audience watching. And we can get so engrossed in the movie that we forget we're in the audience, right? Our attention actually dissolves into that screen, and we're experiencing the same emotions that the main character is, or some of the other characters are. And we're feeling the fear or the confusion or the heartache or the whatever, the joy. We're like feeling it because we have merged our attention with the screen, what's happening on the screen. If it's not a great movie, there's a gap, right? We're kind of like fidgety. We're like, oh, this movie's kind of lame. Here, at the screen, and here's us in the theater sitting there, and we have an awareness. We never merge with the movie. It's not good enough for us to totally lose ourselves in. We are aware that we're sitting there in the theater, and this is the perfect analogy for life. So on this, and as we develop inner authority, so we want to develop inner authority, which is this awareness that we are separate from everything that's happening to us in life, right? The screen of life is showing us this. We are the lead character in the movie of our life, right? We're experiencing all this stuff. All this stuff is happening, good and bad stuff. We have all these other characters that are doing things, and developing that inner authority is just being aware that there's a gap. Because many people, and especially in the beginning as we're learning these skills, are so engrossed with the movie, and I've been there, that we're so merged with that movie that we don't realize that there's a gap, right? And that keeps us in a place of not having this inner authority. And what happens? We feel really tossed about. We feel really affected by the things that people say to us. We feel highly sensitive. This is the essence of being a highly sensitive person, is attending to all of that stuff as if it is the number one priority, as if it matters, as if it dictates how you feel. to being so engrossed in the movie that you let it dictate how you feel. And as we start to create the gap, create the separation, withdraw just a little bit back. And this actually feels like a stepping back from the movie. Like you can feel the physical distance between these two in your perception. This is a perceptual thing that you can actually tangibly feel. You can sense it. It's a body feel. And so as you start to sit in this inner authority, and you're like, I am the only one who gets to determine how I feel. It doesn't matter what the characters on screen are saying to me. It doesn't matter what they're spewing out. Unless I am totally merged with it and agree with it 100% and am allowing all of that stuff to whip me about in life and make me feel really turbulent. And you gotta take that step back. You gotta take that step back and have the awareness of that my senses can be perceiving all this action, but I am separate from that. You know, there's this sanctity, there's this inner authority. How do we develop this? Use my stop, drop, and roll tool. I teach you how to do this, how to actively detach from the screen. When you are having an emotional reaction, you detach. You physically, with your perception, take a step back. Take a step back. And you sit here and you watch it. You watch the screen, you watch the drama, you watch it play out for like a minute or two, and then what happens? The screen fades to black. The emotional reaction fades to black, and you're just left there, right there. You're there, sitting in the audience. The movie has stopped. It's on to the next thing. The movie screen is on, you know, but you have created the gap. So grab that tool. If you don't have it yet, if you're not practicing yet, this is next level. So you've practiced this enough, you've done this enough that there is a natural now gap, and you're just like, yeah, that's happening out there. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, you get sucked back in, but you just practice coming back out here again. And it feels, you can feel it. I mentioned in the last couple of my videos, you can feel this where when something, you know, again, when you reach a level where you're like, somebody says something that could be insulting to you, and you're just like, whatever. It rolls off of you. It actually doesn't bother you. Because like, I don't agree with that. Because we have to agree with it and be totally merged with it for it to cause us an emotional reaction. When we have this gap and we see it as something that is like, okay, that's your opinion. I'm not going to agree with it unless I want to agree with it. You know, it's just going to roll off of me. So we can reach this. This is next level. And so then this is where manifestation comes in, which I'm going to be talking about more in this channel. So that's where we're going. That we're going to, now that you've developed this is your outer world of circumstances, situations, and this is your inner world of thoughts, you know, controlling your mind, being in charge of your emotional reactions, not 100% of the time, but a good majority. But really developing a sense of inner authority where I get to determine how I feel 100% of the time. I always have 100% of the power. You know, this can be happening, but I am sitting in the seat of power of deciding how to frame this, so what story to tell, and where my attention is going, right? I can always, you know, if the movie isn't something I like to see, just in same thing in the theater. If it's like boring me or pissing me off, I go on my phone, I start texting someone. I mean, that's what happens in a movie theater, or people get up and leave. They get up and leave. They're just like, I'm out of here. So, same thing. This is a movie of your life. You have all the authority. Nobody can make you feel anything. It's only because you're feeling and reacting because we're merged with the movie. We let it have all the power. We take our power back, we create a gap, and we sit in a seat of saying, okay, I feel myself reacting to this, and this is what I choose to believe instead. This is where I choose to sit. And you'll feel the gap as you keep going, and then the fun starts. When you have that level of mental mastery, of emotional mastery, because you've just practiced the stop, drop, and roll technique that I teach you for free, grab it below again, then you can start creating things here and then seeing the outcomes on the screen. That to me is where the magic happens. right? It then goes in reverse, where you're sitting and deciding who you are and what you believe and what you feel and what you want. And then you start to see evidence of that in the movie. Like, that's super exciting and fun to me. It's like, then you are literally affecting your reality. You're creating and projecting out. And these amazing, wonderful things are coming into your life. But again, it takes a level of holding firm in your inner authority to then feel good enough, even if your goals and your dreams aren't on that screen yet. They're not in front of you. They're not playing out yet. To still feel good, to still feel happy, to still feel in control, to still feel powerful and knowing without them being there yet. That, again, takes the same level of emotional mastery. It's all the same stuff. I mentioned this in another video. I'll put it above, but it's the same set of skills. So this is what next level looks like. You know, holding that inner authority to then start affecting what you're seeing in your world, because we're simulating, you know? We're simulating our reality as we go, and to start then affect and see ripples through the simulation. So this is where the exciting stuff happens. That's where we're headed. We're going to keep diving deeper into all of that stuff. So that's where the channel is headed. I may be renaming the channel, FYI. So if you see a new channel name in the next few weeks, don't be surprised. But I wanted the name to be more reflective of that, where we're going, right? We've covered emotional mastery for 3 years. Now it's time to take it to the next level. Like, what can you do with that? If you've developed it now, what can you do with it? What amazing things can you do with that level of emotional mastery? So I hope you are coming along on the ride. I hope that helped clarify, you know, developing that inner authority to have what people are saying and doing, either to let it make you better or to let it clarify where you're, you know, where you're merging with the screen and agreeing. A little part of you has to agree with what they're saying in order for it to hurt you, affect you, cause you to react. So there is no perfect environment in which to take control of your thoughts, right? The movie's always going to keep playing, keep playing, keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. The time is now to start withdrawing, withdraw back, create that perceptual space. It's a perceptual gap. That's what we want to start working on. So let me know what you thought. And then, you know, somebody calling you a crybaby just is like, that's like a quacking duck to me. It's just noise, you know, it's just noise. And I know where I am in the theater. I know I'm not in the movie. I'm not merged with the movie. I am back enough, just a little bit of gap as you need for you to be like, no. I'm in control of my thoughts. Nobody makes me feel anything unless I agree with that, and I don't agree with that. So there we go. That's your next level emotional mastery, and we'll continue unpacking it. So I hope that was helpful. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. And who knows, your comment might end up being something that I will provide deeper insight on in a future video. So if I haven't already. So let me know. Drop a comment and we'll try to get you squared away. So thanks for watching. Bye.